Hello, welcome to Thought Leader Show. I am Major Sunil Shetty. My Startup TV is world's only media house that exclusively broadcasts on startup ecosystem. We host Monday to Saturday founders on our Founder Talk show, and on Fridays we bring thought leaders. Today joining me is Karthikeya Kumar, who is a security expert, also an HR architect, and a mentor with VHub. And recently, he took up a new role of founder. Now, we all know that since the world went on the cyber world or the cyberspace, with it emerged the security concerns, be it for the organizations, be it for individuals or businesses. So, what does that mean? And the cyber security or cyber threat has been leapfrogging or changing or morphing every time cybersecurity experts come with a solution. The threat seems to be going to the next level. So to discuss as to what is the current scenario in cybersecurity, especially with AI and ML coming into play, how has that made it easier for cybersecurity experts like Karthikeya and Kumar, and will there ever be a time where the police will be ahead of the criminals? Because usually it seems like even in the cyberspace, the criminals are ahead, or they have a leverage over the security apparatus. So, Karthikeyan, welcome to the show.
As I said, uh,
The cyber security is the buzz. Wherever you go, you talk about cyber security. Has been there for a while, but then it is now only increasing, or it is the noise around cyber threat, especially with common men now being scammed, being hit, with AI coming in, and that's also brought in various challenges. If you to start with, could you paint a picture of what cyber world looks like today for businesses, for organizations, and for individuals?
Basically, my association with a couple of states of police departments since the last 15 years has taught me a lot in terms of physical policing and also with the cyber policing. But when I talk about cyber security aspects, yes, we have very, very advanced real-time challenges, especially with respect to a common man like you and me, because every company has built in their own infrastructure or huge data center, security framework, everything. But when it comes to a common man security, we can't predict what type of criminal is around us in this cyber world. And unfortunately, every single individual, if not today, there is a day for everybody where they're going to get victimized. And that basically works in a way. I use one statement: if you are a cyber victim, that means your common sense is being hit. Because if you are the psychology of a cyber criminal, is tap the common sense of a common man, where he knows the pulse of the weakest point of the common man in the form of a message, in the form of a video, in the form of a WhatsApp call. And these fellows who are doing these crimes are nowhere graduates or postgraduates or highly qualified. These are all majorly school dropouts, college dropouts, and they're hacking the things, they're targeting the common man in such a way, looting the money on a larger scale with the technology in hand. I can say the smartphone, what we are using today in a cyber perspective, can be addressed as a grenade. We don't know how it will blast, when it will blast, and we don't know what are we using on the smartphone, what links do we click. So a common man has to be very careful while using what kind of applications they download, what gaming they are doing, what shopping they are doing, and majorly what links they are clicking or opening. They have to be very watchful and mindful. One wrong step will take you somewhere, and it's never that easy to come back.
no, very true. I mean, if you
Pick
just
up newspaper for last few months, you will see, scientists have fallen prey to this. Teachers, army personals, where we believe that their security understanding would be much better than others. But then I think because cyber crime is a new thing for all of us, right? Especially for the common man. So we don't know how this is going to happen, or how you're going to be trapped. So what you said is true. The cyber criminals are probably dropouts, as you said, 10th dropout, or not very highly educated, but then they are tapping into emotions of people. So the emotion could be either enticing you with some quick way to make money, or tapping you, like we've heard of cyber arrest, isn't it? That was quite a thing till the government of India started doing broadcast in multilingual broadcast across your phone calls. All our ringatone that turned to caution, message. So given that the cyber criminals are always going to be there looking for ways to trap common people, and organizations where their cyber security or their cyber wall may not be as good. With AI coming in to play, will there ever be a situation or time when we would be able to, as a common man, use? I'm thinking of thinking of a AI app that I could download and it tells me that, hey, this, like you get today's spam call, right? When you're using a mobile phone, maybe an AI tool that tells me this is a fraud. So I don't know. Tell me, what do you think? Is that possible?
Yeah, that is quite possible. Not at immediate point of time, but when we talk about something bigger called quantum AI, maybe in detail about this, you can ask a real-time AI expert. But with respect to cyber security, even in one of the sessions recently, I spoke about quantum AI, because the more this is going to come in, there are two ways. This is always like a two sides of a coin. That every day the technology is changing in terms of artificial intelligence. The name itself says it is artificial. It is never natural. It is again a human driven. Now, whoever is developing this intelligence has also got a chance to develop something anti to that. Now, in olden days, if you remember a word called antivirus, many people didn't had a clue which companies are making this antivirus. How do they identify a virus? How do they clear all these things? Typically, later we all got to know that it's only the same company developing the virus and creating an antivirus for them. So the doctor is the same, the patient is the same. It's in the same building. Nowadays, if you look at artificial intelligence, threats are equally increasing along with the intelligence. I'll give you a small example. Recently, it was across the news also. I don't want to take the state name or what happened, but in one of the board exams, that came recently, there were 5 students who took the previous question papers. These question papers were scanned very patiently for about few hours. They copied the questions, they pasted in ChatGPT, and they wanted to know what is the prediction of questions that might come in an upcoming exam. And the accuracy was 92% after examination.
Wow.
Imagine. Sorry?
Wow. I'm
Seriously, I was surprised to see.
92% is like you have kind of cracked. For most of the competitive exams, you're right on top of the pile, isn't it?
How it could give. It is not the self-intelligence of ChatGPT again. Now, who is driving this ChatGPT? Every common man, every teacher, every faculty in a college. Now you randomly go to some of the institutions. I don't say every institution. The days are gone where even the faculty, a student has stopped writing something with a pen and paper. Anything is on computer. Anything is on ChatGPT. If I want to get our next 1 hour session on some unknown topic for tomorrow, I can use ChatGPT, I can use Gemini, I can use any other tool where it will automatically give me 20 slides without any effort, and it is delivering it. That means a huge database is piled up there. Only thing what person is knowing is how to give a prompt. As long as this prompting is going in correctly. Now I can put a prompt on ChatGPT saying, you try, how do you hack a server of a data center? It will not give the answer. It will not give the answer because it knows the sensitivity of it. So that kind of control is always there in artificial intelligence. Going forward with quantum AI, it is going to be more increasing, so that for the criminals at this point of time, we can say there can be a good control on cyber challenges. But down the line, we have to see if some anti thing also gets developed, then AI has to fight with them.
So,
the fact that you said 92% accuracy, that's a big thing. Also, I just want to connect quickly. You talked about ChatGPT. Just I think 3 days back there was news that now Indians are on the top of user list across the globe. We have even beaten the US. So there are more users from India using technology, using ChatGPT. That also talks about our how we are adaptive to new technology. We don't have any barriers to it, right? As to, should I try this? Shouldn't I try this? Because ChatGPT is just about, since it went public, public as in, available for public, common man, it's been just a year. And within a year, our, India as a society, we have just taken it and using across the world. So keeping that thing in mind, with something like that happening with technology adaptation across the board, UPI is another excellent example how, we adapted to UPI. So, that also increases the risk of, being conned or being, the cybersecurity threat goes up quite exponentially, isn't it?
To increase, because now if you practically look at the kind of cyber experts what we have in India is less than 10%. We would actually require more than 47.5% of the best experts in India, and across the world it is more than 73% of requirement is still there. But the only problem is to get into this cyber security as a career or as a passion, it takes a lot of time. People are not able to understand. Now, in order to avoid these threats using these artificial intelligence, chat GPT, I can even make it through Canva. Canva can also be used as another tool, because Canva, many of the people know that I'm using it only for designing purpose. Nowadays, I can go to Canva and put a prompt and generate an image and say that this is something I've I've done a design thinking. This has come out of my mind, and people are not that blind. They can easily understand whether it is a chat GPT answer or a self thought process. Now, even when I look at the freshers these days, being an HR, I take mock interviews, I take some online interviews. Even I'm hiring for my own company now. I'm in the process of hiring. But when I look at a profile, I can easily get it done. Number one, it is made only out of Canva, not a Microsoft Word anymore. Number one. Number two, the prompts that are given very clearly says the resume is built with ChatGPT, and the kind of words they use never match what they speak. They say that they have excellent communication skills and they have got outstanding writing skills. But when I look at the reality while talking to them, it is 100% the other way around. So technology has always these challenges, whether it is a ChatGPT, and fortunately or unfortunately, our people are so great. Very quickly we get adapted to new things, and we wanted to try it in a way that our works become easier, smoother, but we are not understanding that we are inviting some new threats. We are inviting new threats. The application what you download on a mobile phone, maybe an interesting game, an interesting shopping application, but it asks for some permissions, which we are giving, as if I can say we are allowing the garbage on the road to be dumped into our house. Simple, in a common man language. So let us be watchful. What are we using? What should not be used? ChatGPT is good. Undoubtedly, it is not denied. But please be careful what kind of prompt are you giving. And because once you give it, it is there on your servers. It is there in your computer. Whenever you type, it will remember what you are asking. It will remember your history of what your questions you ask. Based on that, it will give the answers. But this is going to be a worrying factor for everyone.
We are in conversation with Karthikeya Kumar, who's a cybersecurity expert, also an HR architect. He's recently donned a new avatar of founder, his own cybersecurity company. He's a mentor at VHub, and he's delivered multiple talks as a mentor. He's been mentoring startups. Karthikeya, India especially, comes with multiple challenges. Like if you take a, low middle class, there's probably one phone which, pretty much everybody is using, including a child at home who's probably playing a game, which the parent don't know. So he would have downloaded certain games, used, installed the app, not realizing that it has come with a virus in it, right? And most of the, low middle class or middle class families use Android phone. So the security of certain brands is not as good as it is of some of the popular known brands like Samsung, Apple and all. Again, if you go upper middle class, each family member has probably, their own phone. So we have problem with, the challenges are multi-pronged because there are so many layers in our society. So, given that kind of a thing, how would somebody like you come up with a solution that fits all of these people? Is it even possible?
Good question. Honestly, I cannot penetrate into your house and see what is your kid doing. Maybe you don't have the time to watch out what your child is doing at times, but not every time. Maybe you'll be monitoring. Nowadays, the first point you made is, I can say this generation, if a baby is born in a hospital, that baby is coming out of the operation theater only if you turn on YouTube or YouTube Kids. The baby is not even moving out of operation theater, and there must be a tab or a mobile phone, the so-called grenade. Now, if they want to eat a food, they need it. And most of the families have a leverage or a facility of giving a separate room for their child, and we don't know what is happening behind the door. Number two. Number three, what gadgets are we giving? I really still love to see, can we get this landline system again or a Nokia 1100? We need technology, no doubt in that. But I openly challenge the people. If you have bought a phone, there must be by default 20 to 25 applications given by the company. But honestly, we less than 5% is what we use. We use a dialer, we use a message, we use a camera, and a max to the max, the default WhatsApp is given. Other than that, we don't use. But more than that, we have 2 times of the existing apps in our phone, which can be gaming, trading, anything as such. It can be dating app, anything. People are forgetting that RBI has given very clear-cut guidelines. If you lose money on Google Pay, there is nothing that RBI can do. If you lose money on any other trading app other than Sharekhan, there is nothing that RBI can do, because there are a couple of authorized bodies given by the governments. Number two, I cannot go into every house, or you cannot go into every house and check what is the child doing, what is the gentleman doing. I personally experienced some of the senior most, forget about children, sir. There are very, very senior people at the age of 60s, 70s who called me and said, Karthik, I did a wrong trading and I lost 40 lakhs in a trading. It's not a small amount. And he's at the age of close to 65 years, earning 3.8 lakhs of salary per month, per monthly salary. Still the greediness. If you are losing money on cyber, there are major reasons are your greediness, lack of common sense, or you need something which either you don't have at home or you want something beyond what you have at home. People are going just behind all these things in terms of a dating app, in terms of a trading, which are uncontrollable. TikTok is closed. We have its own brother coming into the market. We have some other apps as such which were shut down from China, but we have made our own apps. We are we are used to such technology that if the actual version is released on one corner of the world, in the next 1 hour, we have it across India. Our people are ready to make it. Our people are ready to download it. And our people are ready to fake anything to get it done. So one has to be very, very, very careful in terms of their children, themselves, even at any age. Please be watchful and mindful. Why do you want to download an application before you click on the Play Store or Apple Store? Is it really necessary for you? And what are the outcomes of it? Is it just entertainment? Are you losing money? My only advice is, if you are giving your phone to a kid, make sure there is no phone pay, Google Pay, or any banking transaction system on that mobile phone. Point number one. And if you are getting marketing calls, fake calls, that means you yourself have digged your grave, giving your mobile number for budgets or points or something in shopping malls or medical shops. If you want to avoid this, keep a dummy Nokia 1100 at home. Get one SIM card which has only incoming, no outgoing. Keep that mobile number in your in your phone. Wherever you go, drop in that number. Even if they call 1,000 times, there is nothing that they can do other than watching. There is a dummy number.
Well,
Is exactly what I do. There is one number that's only for this purpose. And I thought one of the gray area which probably nobody notices is when we go to all these some of these places where we drop our numbers, especially when we write it down on a register on security gates, right, at certain colonies, at a certain place. How do we even know that these numbers are not being copied or sold by somebody standing at the gate, right? So what you made the point is very true. Have an additional SIM which is only for dropping at these places, giving away for registrations. And I think the other thing is, at many places, people don't even know that they can say, no, I will not share my number. Like especially if you go to a medical hall, you're buying some medicines. The first thing the sales counter guy says is your number, right? And I've seen people give out the number without asking why do I need to give a number, or denying, saying I will not share my number. So I think even as you said, the basic common sense part is missing, which is where I think you need to start with if you want to be secured in the cyber world. So one of the things that is very close to to me is the security of women in the cyberspace, especially young women and girls at school, because many of them have no idea how they're, when they share, especially when they take pictures on their phones. And one of the very common things, and this is something that, I have spoken to my own female staff at my office. When you give away your phones for either you sell it or you give it for repair, what happens to your data in it? Because you have your phone, your photographs in it, you have numbers. So that awareness that when I'm giving it, because you think you're giving it to that bhaiya who's going to repair your phone, you're trusting him, right? And there is no way to, I mean, you don't even, I've seen that people don't even use that common sense that that's the person who could be actually copying your data or using your data and spreading it across. With those, that kind of very basic, problem to start with. Is there anything that you can do to, with technology to help, common man, follow some, tick marks or check boxes and say, I'm secured? Is it possible?
Very honestly, till date, no such technology has come into the market just because there are many incidents like you have explained. I started seeing these kind of incidents since 2018, where there was a big announcement on WhatsApp. Way long back, I'm saying this. This is not very recent. But I kept seeing these incidents happening and again. The incident was one company announced on WhatsApp that, dear all girls and women, get ready very beautifully. Post 3 best photographs of yourself using this Google form. And the first cash prize for the lucky winner is 25K. Second is 15K. Third is 10K. And the next 3 days, there was a huge shopping of makeup kits and everything done across the market. And the photos were uploaded. It's been more than a month that nobody got the results, because I know a couple of my known people also have uploaded the photos. Even after telling them, please don't. Because, sir, I have one simple question. Nobody in our premises or in our country knows where is a WhatsApp server located. Where is Facebook server located? Where is LinkedIn server located? So we are sending our information to some unknown fellow in an unknown place, and we don't even know how they are going to use it. So these people have uploaded the photos. They were misused. They were uploaded on some unusual website with the phone numbers, and the people started getting calls. This incident happened in Bangalore, and we got the news that 5 people committed suicide, and out of which 2 are young girls. After which things were trying to be in control. We went to Bangalore, we found, and that was a fake company that was announced in a small location. Now,
So
these
that,
things, yeah.
yeah. So one is
Lack of common sense. The other is greed, as you're bringing out, right? Or where you get, the reason why common man gets trapped into cyber fraud or cyber, gets compromised is, one is you started with lack of common sense. Second is greed. Now, the other added to this is laws. Do you think there are enough laws out there that can stop something like this? When you said, a Bangalore-based company came up, asked women to upload their photographs, and just vanished. Are there enough laws to, stop something like this from happening again?
We have the law as per the IT Act of 2010. There are many things that one must verify before approving a company. What is their security framework? If you have heard of this term, cybersecurity audit, which is a mandate by the Central Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, how many companies are getting it done, sir? Even if you go for a normal ISO, many of the ISO audits, I'm sorry to say, they are paid and given. Some of the companies say that you don't have to come, we'll give it very honestly.
Yes.
Now, even cyber audits are also becoming like that, because I have seen a couple of cyber audits in person. If you want to do a cyber audit in a company, the company will have a threat or a worrying factor that will my company work from the next day or not? Because in the recent days, there was one ransom attack on one of the largest real estate company in Hyderabad. It was because of small issue. They're a multi-crore company. They have got huge revenue. The only mistake that the IT team did, because of which the company went into a toss, is the website of the whole company did not had a the firewall. Usually our systems have a firewall, but the website of the company never had a firewall, which impacted the email address of the company, and that in turn got spam emails, and it was a big mess. It impacted almost 150 plus email addresses, including the founder's email. And once the founder email is attacked, that has got a connect on the main system, which where he manages the entire financials. And that was a ransom attack for a demand of 5 crores. 5 crores is not a small amount. Number 2, like this, many organizations doesn't get a cyber audit done. It hardly costs $200 per year. $200 per year for a business of 10 crores. Where are we trying to save the money? We are investing money on advertisements. We are investing the money on everything, but nobody is monitoring. And above all these things, have an open dialogue to say, because this I already raise it to the government. If our governments are seriously concerned about public security and their financial information, the biggest fraud that is happening today is how are we able to send our WhatsApp, Aadhaar card and PAN card on a WhatsApp without any security? And many of the people doesn't know how many loans are there on their own Aadhaar card. How many SIM cards are there on Aadhaar card? You said people will make a note of it, the numbers, phone numbers. I've seen the frauds happening where people tick mark the girls' numbers especially, and they start harassing them. That is also happening. So the central government has some policies, no doubt in that. But these policies must be streamlined in a way that a common man, even without any common sense, if they try to do something, the company must not be able to get it executed. We have the laws, no doubt in that.
So we have the laws, which means what we need is, the continuous awareness campaign that should happen, not only from the government.
We need more vigilance on these systems. Today I have started my company. How can the government know what is that I'm doing for my company? I say that I'm a cybersecurity organization. Maybe I'm doing a reverse hack. I might do something else tomorrow. How is the government getting to know about it? So what vigilance are they putting on the companies? And are they really trying to monitor? This is where India requires more experts in cyber.
So
You also made a point. So definitely I agree. Vigilance is very key. Is the key. But then awareness at individual level becomes very important, because until unless you know what are the risks, you cannot. It's something like, wear a helmet. If you recall, for many years, it's only last, I think, 4 or 5 years that you see more number of people wearing helmets in Hyderabad, on two-wheeler. And seat belts, car seat belt. If you recall, for decades, nobody bothered to wear a seat belt in car. Today, seat belt, it has become a second habit. You sit in a car, you wear a seat belt. That is because, to a large extent, was because of the awareness. Think of your ambulance, right? People used to never give way to ambulance. Again, there was sustained awareness created by government, by radio FMs, different FM radio stations, that people came to know, oh, this is what I need. Because again, we are, as a society, we are coming from a different, different place altogether. So there needs to be an awareness created. So similarly, there needs to be a, constant effort. Companies have to come together. Maybe organizations, maybe, a lot of NGOs who are, working on, because as I said, women are a target, right? You said they tick the numbers, of women. So all those NGOs who are working in for women, they should take it upon to them, maybe create that kind of awareness at each level, so that the awareness trickles down to the last person, the last person on the ground. So definitely vigilance is one big thing. Apart from that, awareness also kind of, really, really important. Now, you talked about 47.5% is the requirement of, cybersecurity experts today. What is preventing, our IT graduates or graduates from engineering graduates to take to cybersecurity? What is that keeping them away from this?
Right, sir. I passed out in 2004, my engineering from information technology background. And when I passed out, my first step was at Amirpet as usual. So I tried to learn Java, I tried to learn Oracle, everything was done, failed in 59 interviews, got my 60th job. 60th interview gave me a job for a salary of 1,350 rupees per month. That was my first salary. Now, the point is, the same story is still continuing, which I saw in 2024 till 2004 till 2025. The person, now we have 2 batches of cybersecurity graduates in this state who passed out. And you go and randomly ask them, out of the total passed outs, it's less than 3% who have got jobs. And those intelligent people, what they did is, because I go to every college and tell this, boss, this is a specialized course like AI and ML or IoT. If you want to get a job in this course, you're just Java, you're just Oracle will not give you a job. You need to do a certification from a branded company like Microsoft, IBM, Cisco, because the kind of roles what they have definitely needs somebody who is monitored, scrutinized, authorized, authenticated, and then only they'll allow into a company. And they start with a good package. chief information security officer, chief networking officer, data security analyst, networking security analyst. There are more than 50 plus job roles in cybersecurity. So the only concern is the Gen Z must understand it is not through Coursera, Udemy, you do a course on online and get a certificate like what you get in Amirpet. That is not going to give you a job. You need to do for a branded certification, which is valid for 1 to 3 years and which you will get only after 3 different levels of assessment. That means you have been squeezed like anything in knowing your knowledge and skills. Then only his company says you are authorized to get into the system. And this is something every individual has to do, because this will not be taught in the colleges at any cost. They don't have time.
Well,
Corona did, apart from other damages, two other big damage it did was create the mindset of work from home and learn online. It looks like everybody wants to learn everything online, which you rightly said. If you really want to do some specialist courses, you got to be there on the ground, meet the professionals, talk to them, and learn from them. And cybersecurity is one of them. So you talked about the opportunity that is there in cybersecurity, and as specialist, cybersecurity specialist, and there are companies offering these courses. My question is, why don't institutions do it? They take hefty fee from students. Why don't they include? Shouldn't that be part of the curriculum, that they the institutions do it?
A big step that needs to be taken. If a company like IBM, Cisco has to do this certification program through a college or a university, the first step is it has to approach the government. The government has to talk to the State Council of Higher Education that your college must have your university must modify the curriculum where you take 2 hours of break, and that can be invested in this kind of certification programs, which is again not at a free of cost. That would cost around 15 to 20K, but subjected how many students are ready to take it. Nowadays, if you go to a college like a normal speaker and say, I'll do a soft skills training program, I'll charge 100 rupees per student, the first answer I get from the college is, our students have already paid the fees and the parents are not ready to pay any more additionally. When this is a kind of marketing and branding is done for the admissions, where is the point that the curriculum can be adjusted? Microsoft, Cisco, IBM can be in one of the technical campus, do a certification, get the interested students filtered, and then directly give them a job. It's all something in the system again. The loopholes have to be corrected. And this is something which is not done in abroad. And that's where people are getting better opportunities. And that's how Silicon Valley has grown there.
I mean, the institution definitely are, one of the culprits, I would say, in this whole system, where they are not structuring their courses to meet what is in demand. And apart from that, what you rightly said, they charge a fee for a course and they ignore, or they comfortably leave essential courses, and then asking students to pay for it is not only unfair on the student but also taxing for the parents. So now, if this has to be, if the shortfall in cybersecurity has to be met, what best option? I mean, other than going to these again, paying another 15K and then learning these courses or taking out these diploma courses, working with somebody like you in your organization, does that help?
Students must show the options or interest to do a practical hands-on internship. I till date had 280 interns who worked with me in HR domain, photography domain, and also in cyberspace. Cyber, I had 27 interns, out of which 5 are still with me. They are working, but majority of were in HR. Now the industries are having opportunities to give internship where the student has to work with hands-on experience for about 3 months to 6 months. The problem here is, I'll tell you openly, even there are universities where faculty are made to do an internship in their semester. Faculty, I'm not talking about student. You go to universities like Vox and Geetham, the faculty will mandatorily go out, do an internship in the industry. They'll come back and teach the same to students. But when it comes to students, many of the colleges, they say that, sir, we just need a letter of internship and there is a span where they'll pay you some money and please issue them a letter of internship done. Number one. Number two, even if you offer the internships, I have personally recommended some students to some of the premier companies, but the feedback I got is don't refer such students. The Gen Z people don't have the patience to sit for 8 hours or 6 hours in office. They can't work hard. They don't want to learn anything beyond the college thing. So if in order to avoid all these things, there are only two ways: either take an internship or let the government starts changing curriculum. Do not have that same old curriculum. Bring in something that the industry 4.0 requires. Put it as a subject. Let them do it in their laboratories. Let them practically learn. Honestly, I can say, sir, today if you go compare an engineering student with a CBSE school in Hyderabad, international schools and some of the CBSE schools in Hyderabad, they have advanced AIML cyber labs where an 8th, 9th class fellow is able to bring up his own startup, which an engineering student is not able to do. I have seen the labs in person, and I know how many are already in the flow of getting their startups done in just being 9th standard. So it's just about the interest. Options are there, opportunities are there, companies are open to give an internship. Mindset has to change. They need to see that next 5 years, this is my career in cyber, and I wanted to learn this. I need an opportunity. That's it.
No, I fully agree with you on that.
It is the attitude of the students. We also get a lot of interns who are looking for a shortcut. So I agree with you. I can relate to your experience. Viewers, we are in conversation with Karthikeya Kumar, who is a cybersecurity specialist. Also donned a new role of founder, where he launched his own company. He is a mentor for various startups. Currently, also mentors at VHub. So, Karthikeya, you made a mention of cyber audit. Could you elaborate what cyber audit is all about for the benefit of companies or founders who are listening to this show or watching this show?
When we talk about cyber audit, it is something which is being done by a person who has crossed multi levels of certification. In a normal language, if I have to say, we all know that there is something Six Sigma is something which speak about the quality standards of an organization, which was done from premier institutions like Indian Statistical Institute of Kolkata, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, like these places. Similarly, in cybersecurity, there are only a few companies which authorize a person like Cisco, IBM, where they need to complete at least 5 certifications, a minimum of 3, maximum of 5 to a senior level, and then they are certified to be cyber auditors. Now, what do these people do? They'll come to a mid-level company or a startup company or a big company. Their job is straight away go sit in the networking room first, identify how their networking is being designed, how the systems are being architectured, and how the entire network is running around. Along with that, how the technical things are going. Now, there are various factors which these experts will run around for the whole day. Depending on the organization, it might even go for the second day. Their main idea will be how strong is the framework of the organization. The framework security, what are the vulnerabilities to threats, what sort of threats can newly penetrate inside, and what are the changes that they need to make in terms of servers, what sort of additional security frameworks they need to design. Lot many points they'll advise, and they say these are the things that you need to change if they are not there, and this is a stipulated time. We'll come back in another 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, depending on the organization again, and they will again make a revisit on the other time, but they don't inform the company that they're coming in the next time. Now, what happens here is when they do this kind of audit, especially nowadays, if you see, unfortunately, Hyderabad stands in #1 place with majority of the startups which no other state has got in India. Especially in South India, we are #1. We have got almost 6,000 plus startups in Hyderabad. And out of these startups, there are many in BFSI, banking and finance, and with IRDA. Now, when startups or mid-level companies are working with banking, finance systems, what is the security? If I'm doing a transaction of 100 rupees on phone pay or from an ATM, imagine just what if 1,000 rupees goes out from my account, or I get 1,000 rupees from an ATM. So that means it's not the issue with the ATM machine. The one who is managing the system has got an issue. They might have got some bugs. Now, how is it identified? These people will see whether it is a default issue from the company or is somebody trying to do a manipulation over cyber and trying to take out the money. So there can be anything, because we have different types of hackers, sir. Somebody will do it even for a time pass. They don't want anything, just for fun. They want to tease the people. Some are serious hackers. Some are dedicated, highly passionate hackers. Some are the white hackers whom we say they repair the things and do this ethical hacking and reverse the things and keep in place. So genuinely, cyber auditors will advise the company what is there and what is not there, how the system should run. Suppose if there is a data center, what security must be designed, what is missing, how it should be brought. Still, if the company doesn't turn up and do all these things, this person or the cyber auditing have the right to recommend to the government, thus this company is not following the norms, and it can be taken for a closure. And that's a government decision again.
So,
Your
in your
experience, what is the most likely scenario? Do these companies or their founders or their promoters do not use cyber audit like service because of lack of awareness or understanding of the of what it brings to their company, or is it because they don't want to spend that money or invest that money into it?
Absolutely, sir. Because even today, we randomly pick 10 people in public. You check their phones. At least 9 people will not have an antivirus on their mobile phone today. I'm not talking about laptop. 9 people will not have antivirus on their mobile phone. They don't have not an internet security. If there is no internet security or antivirus in my mobile phone, and if I do all these transactions, there's a very high scope that I can get a malware attack done for myself. Now, when I go to a company and organize, because I have seen with a couple of companies where I personally advised them before they had the audit, boss, this is what you need to have this framework. Like I said recently with the real estate company, just to spend $200, they could not take a step. And when I verified everything, I got to know that one cyber audit was already there, because they have huge servers and they have a huge amount of transactions. But still, even after recommending this, the company thought, what is going to happen? Let the incident come till my desk, then I'll see. Until something comes to us, we'll not identify or will not change. And that is what happens with most of the people. So today, when I buy a mobile phone, I'll also buy insurance. Why? Maybe some kind of damage will happen. We will be seeing it. Last time also I bought an insurance, nothing happened to my phone. End of the day, it's again a common sense. So organizations are at times taking a lenience that if something really happens, then we know how to get it back. But unfortunately, things are not going to be back, and they are going to be the big losers. This is what I have seen in the last 2 years, almost more than 6 cases.
well,
If not insurance for the phones, definitely people buy screen protectors, safety cases for their mobiles, and I think that's the kind of attitude you want to have for your organization cybersecurity as well. Karthikeya, before we wind up, if you have to leave some message, for people out there, what would that be? First, to ensure that they are not hit by cyber scam or their cyber security gets compromised.
So for all those who are using the smartphones or smart gadgets today and say that I feel like I'm very much using everything in place. Now, number one, please make sure your systems, your mobiles, your gadgets have got licensed antivirus, licensed internet security. This will help you not to make sure no malware or anti-scam things will come in through your messages or any spam message. That can come in any format, my dear friends. Like I get an email at times saying some name on the Gmail. When I see the subject, a girl's name will be there saying she's waiting for you. And I cannot go and immediately click the email, because the moment when I click the email, there is nobody waiting for me on the email or on the other side, but it's a spammer email. So please have some common sense. Before you open any email, read the subject. If you think it is not relevant, on the left side, you have an option, check it, delete it. Download an licensed antivirus, internet security, same for your laptop, the tabs, mobile phones, smartwatches, the smart glasses, whatever you use. And please be cautious of downloading the applications. Again, I'm telling you, PhonePe or Beam are the only authorized applications by Government of India. ShareCan is the only authorized application by Government of India. If you're trying to do trading in something, especially we don't have something called a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency on a very great stage in India, and people are losing on that heading lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Don't be greedy. You will not get the money back. There is a way to recover the money, and police are recovering the money. There is a way, but subjected, you must know how to recover the money, because recently the Telangana police have recovered a huge amount of money from the cyber criminals. And I don't want to use that here, but there were some key people who were involved in the system were also arrested for the first time in this many years by CV Anand Garu. And they were the ones who were accused behind the scene in getting the money out. So please be cautious. Do not go for the contest like spin the wheel, click this email. And when you get some message, you have to read it completely. You may get some fake messages. I'll give you an example. AMAZ. We feel like it is from Amazon. No, it can be amaz.in, icicbank.com. Still the website is fake and it is still existing. If you click it, it is as usual looking like ICICI website. But if you enter your username and password, it says it is invalid and your username password are already taken by someone. And when you are doing a phone pay or a Google Pay or anything, which is not allowed, if you have a right UPI ID, sorry, the PIN number, still your transaction did not go through more than 2 times, stop doing it third time. Give a break for an half an hour, 30 minutes or 1 hour. If you want, tell the shop fellow that I don't want it now, I'll come back and take or I'll get some cash. This can be another type of scam. There are many scams, and please be watchful when you scan something at an outlet. Before you enter the amount and pay, you will get a name on the UPI. Announce that name to the shop fellow. Bhaiya, ye yahi hai kya? Aapka shop ka hai. If he says no, don't enter the amount and pay it. You're done. So please be watchful. There are many instances. Only thing is, mindful and common sense is something that can protect you, your family, your money. And the biggest fraud that is happening today is, earlier days we used to have some phone calls from girls directly, women. These days, there was a case recently I handled 4 months back. One lady call has come to a gentleman where he got trapped and he has paid 5 lakh rupees immediately after the call to one of the bank account. But when we investigated, we found that was not a human call. It's a AI generated lady call. And the lady in the call was a AI person. It is not a real person. But by then he has deposited 5 lakhs in the bank. It's over. Plus, please be watchful. Don't run behind all these blind dating apps, trading apps, false networking information. And the biggest thing that is happening in name of central government these days is you get a call from TRI saying your number is being utilized in Nigeria, Japan, somewhere, and it is involved in an activity. We are blocking your number. If you want to release your number, you need to pay 10,000 rupees. You need to pay 10,000 rupees. This I got many times. And then I thought, okay, let me press 1 and see what will happen. And I tried it. Then a human entered and said, sir, agar aapka number ko release karna hai, to aapko 10,000 payment karna padega. I said, first you block my number, I'll see. Nothing has happened. And if you say, no, I'll pay, they'll give you the task. You complete it, your number is safe. Finally, stop taking international calls unless you know somebody there. +294, +491, +414, +716, +796. There are more than 50 plus series of numbers which comes. And if you answer it, you don't have to speak anything. Answer, it will automatically get disconnected. And you're already, the scammer is already in your phone. Please be watchful. Thank you so much.
Karthikeya, thank you very much for all those points. There are a lot of them. I think we're running out of time. Quickly, we are a media platform dedicated to entrepreneurs and startups and thought leaders like you. What do you think about the kind of work we are doing? If you can keep it short, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're audible now, please.
Yeah, I said, we are a startup.
And enablers like you, what is your thought about the kind of work we are doing?
Very honestly, this is one of the most required and needed activity, because I see many channels coming forward and saying we support this, we support that. But because of your platform, because I've been regularly following MyStartupTV across Facebook and LinkedIn, and I've been watching the videos, the kind of activity that this channel or this team is doing is really going to help many startup enablers, founders, as well as some of the individuals who wants to float their companies or who wants to float their ideas. They will know, they will learn from the experts, they will understand what to do and what not to do, where to start and where to stop. So I think this is one of the greatest platform, recommendable, can be recommended for many youngsters, many companies, and they have a lot to learn from you all.
Thank you
Very much for joining us. Thank you. We'll see you again on our next show. Thank you for having me here. Viewers, if you want to hear such interesting conversation, join us Monday to Saturday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for live show. Thank you very much for joining us.